Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Recently got finished watching the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury, Caitlin Clark and Diana Taurasi. Get it on. And I'm just going to go through my thoughts of the game initially. I'll try and get some highlights or some clips to work through tomorrow, I guess, to get into more details for those of you that are interested in that sort of thing, but I just wanted to go over my big picture thoughts about this game, the good, the bad, things like that. Obviously, it's a huge win for Indiana. Let me back up a second because I just thought this was kind of funny. All she can do is shoot threes. For those of you that are Caitlin Clark fans, that's probably something you've heard a lot, right? Well, on a day when the three was not falling, and don't get too upset about it, it happens to all shooters. You have those days where everything goes, you have those days when it seems like nothing goes. This was one of those days that seemed like nothing, even though the two threes she made were huge. But I think, but she was what, 2 for 10 from beyond the arc. She still managed 15 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. Somebody go to that tape, find the 10th. If there's a teammate who stole one, we cut her. I think I think maybe cut Christie sides for that. I saw real quick. I did see where Caitlin Clark wasn't going to be at the post game, and it was said it was because she wasn't feeling well, and she wasn't feeling well all game, and that may be very well true. Oh, and that's why she came out at the end. That that part I don't buy. Someone got to Christie sides and said, "You know what? You are going to get destroyed for taking her out after she played all game when she's a rebound away from the first rookie in WNBA history to have a triple double. You better come up with a good excuse." Oh man, yeah, she just nothing goes right, does it? But yeah, but so Caitlin Clark finished 1 rebound short of the first rookie triple double in league history. She set the franchise record for assists by a rookie already in literally exactly half a season. I did want to go over just a couple things. I just had to point this out because I saw this right before I decided to do this video. For those of you who didn't see it, at the end of the third quarter, I made a quick post in the community tab about the officiating and how bad I thought it was. And I wanted to post that then because I get how it looks after if your team loses and you start talking about the officiating and complaining, right? Everyone just kind of like, whatever, you're just because you lost. So, of course, somebody had to comment whenever I see complaining that usually means the Caitlyn clan's favorite player must be losing. Like these people, this is a great example of how deranged they are and how reality is completely irrelevant to them and I don't even know if I want to say what they believe or just the fact that they want to troll or what it is, but Indiana was literally winning the game when I posted that. Oh my goodness, that cracks me up. Anyway, so let's get back to it, and I'll start with that with the officiating. I'm gonna go through just this one real quick because you all saw, but this was they called a foul on Caitlin Clark for this. This is crazy. Yep, they called that on Caitlin Clark for an offensive foul. Uh, Now I saw a couple places on Twitter where people are like, oh, well, no, they changed the rule and you can't do. No, that's not correct. Here's that rule change. Here's what they got rid of. If the defender, just like under the basket, if the defender goes straight up and down and stays in their space, the offensive player can't duck under them and have them fall on the offensive player to draw a foul. As you saw, that is not what happened here. The defender, that was like the long jump or the broad jump. The defender literally jumped 5 or 6 feet into Caitlin Clark. That is a foul. She should have been shooting 3 foul shots on that play. And then there was one more. Fingers crossed. Sometimes these things. I've already got blocked trying to do this earlier, but this was also ridiculous. By the way, I'd loved to see this from Aliyah Boston. Not this particular play, but I just meant all game. I loved the way she played. I love that she was physical, had a little edge to her. But that right there, not being called a flagrant is absolutely absurd. That is like the picture or video definition of not a basketball play. And there was other stuff too, that the offsetting technicals with the under the basket thing at the free throw. If you saw that, that was Cloud that came over and started that, and then two other Phoenix players got started it as well. And so that was wrong. But the whole thing was a big mess. But anyway, I want to make my big points of what I thought overall as the game. First of all, I think for the team it was absolutely huge because they finally beat a team with a winning record. They beat a good basketball team, and I think that is huge for them going forward to claim a victory against a team with a winning record. That's a huge plus. A negative is, as we've been talking about all season long, the Fever have no half court offense to speak of. It's non-existent. They run once in a while, they run a couple of simple screens, and that's it. It's basically five players spread out standing around, and it's awful. As you saw, Phoenix got off to a great start. The Fever didn't. They weren't shooting well, and it was what, like a 12-point game a couple minutes in, and the Fever got back into this by running. When they started running, they started getting into transition. That's how they got back in the game. And then they stopped running, and Phoenix regained the lead. This team, the makeup of this team is at its best by far when they are running. All of them. They have, you've got just in general, the game they play. I'm not saying like Wallace is all of a sudden a great player, but she's a better player when they're running. She can get down the court. She can spread out because again, she's not shooting this three well this year, but she has shot it well in the past. She can do it. Okay. So she can get out, and Samuelson the same way. She can get out ahead of the pack and make layups. She can spread it by shooting the three. As far as bigs go, Nalyssa Smith absolutely can run the court. She gets open looks and open layups. Aliyah Boston is doing that a lot more as well, whether she gets ahead of the ball or she comes out in a trailing position and she can get the ball back to her as she's coming down the lane, and that's basically unstoppable. It was a struggle early in the year, but I think Aliyah Boston is in much better shape now than she was early in the season. And I think getting out and running is absolutely the best thing the Mercury can do. The Mercury, sorry about that. The Phoenix the Phoenix, the Indiana Fever, and in fact Bentley, who unfortunately I think got hurt again, but you all know she's great at that. And I mean, she is a matchup nightmare for teams because she's got the height and she's got the length, and yet she's also explosive and she's fast and she's quick and she's going to get out and run, and that causes big time matchup problems, especially in transition. So that's huge. So listen, Christy Sides, listen to me. I'm talking to you. This team, if you want to be successful, this team should run every single possession. 40 minutes of hell. That's what you should be putting the other team through. That is the best chance you have to win games. Stop slowing the game down. Your half court offense is not a good half court offense. It is not a good half court offense. Are you hearing me? Well, look, go back to the beginning of the game. Now she didn't make it, but you probably all saw it. The shot itself probably was kind of ugh. But Caitlin Clark early on, I loved the way that she beat her defender off the dribble and got into the paint. She had a bigger defender up on her, getting physical, taking away the three, and she showed that hey, I can get by you if I want to get by you. And while she didn't get a bucket out of it, a lot of times things that you do early that maybe don't necessarily work, they can set things up for later. Because after that, no, she didn't make the bucket there, but after that, in guarding her, you have to realize that, you know what, she can do that to you though. And maybe next time she makes it. So maybe you're not as on her for the three. It just makes it more difficult to defend when you show variety right away. And unfortunately, and that's what you'll hear from the other side because it's all they've got, right? Unfortunately, Caitlin didn't shoot that well today from deep, Like I said, it happens, but her overall game was really good. She did have a huge three in the second half. I think they cut it to five, and then like seconds after that, got out in transition and made a great pass to Wallace. Who shout out to Wallace? I try and be fair. Great layup, cut it to two, cut it to two. I didn't like that nonsense. I already mentioned it, but at the end of the game, especially when she's got 15 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds, you're taking her out. But as you saw, I said big four, and that's really Bentley only played 13 minutes, and I think it was an injury. So they really kind of have a big five, but the big four that played, awesome. Nalyssa Smith was a beast. Aliyah Boston was a beast. I love seeing that more physical side of her. I love seeing that fight, that edge to her a little bit. Kelsey Mitchell, for all the nonsense I give her, and again, I try to be fair. Big picture wise, I don't think she's the answer on this team unless she changes how she plays, but she still does have good qualities to her game. She absolutely made three huge threes today in the second half after sitting a lot. And she sat a lot, I think, because Wheeler was, for Wheeler, playing good ball. And Kelsey Mitchell hit huge threes. Three of them finished 3 for 6 from 3 points. But I think the I'd have to double check, but I believe the three she made were in a row. Now I'm not saying no other Fever scored, but I believe 3 attempts in a row by Mitchell. I think she had. It came in a short period of time, which, by the way, is also something that people don't like to talk about. That's a really huge positive with Caitlin Clark is Kelsey Mitchell was wide open with those threes because of the Caitlin Clark effect, because of the way defenses try and shut Caitlin Clark down, and that is not taking anything away from Kelsey Mitchell. Because we've seen the flip side of it too, right? We've seen Wallace miss a whole lot of wide open threes. Katie Lou Samuelson, unfortunately, I think she made a huge one. I think she was 1 for 4. The one she made was absolutely huge as well, but she was 1 for 4. But so I mean, you still have to make them. But Kelsey Mitchell was wide open for those threes because of Caitlin Clark. And then Kelsey did what she needs to do is take advantage of that fact and nail the wide open threes, and she did it. Boom. I thought Wheeler played hard today. I think you saw a little something a little different from her in terms of she wanted this game. She wanted to win this game. Katie Lou again. There were one or two other ones that would have been great if she could have made them, but she made a huge three, huge three. One thing, shoot, I don't think I have it on here. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can show it though, just because this was cool. But this also shows the kind of day that Caitlin Clark had from beyond the arc, because this is one she uh, absolutely should. Oh, that wasn't even it, man. I am so sorry. That was a good shot though, right? That was a good shot. She nailed that one. I wanted to show you. I thought I had it for you. I thought I had the breaking ankles, but I'll add that tomorrow. Sorry about that. That was a cool three though. But for any of you who saw it, she broke some ankles on a play as well. But then she missed the wide open three. I think she had too much time in her hands. But I want to go back to this big four. Nalyssa Smith, 5 of 9, 15 rebounds, 12 points, 15 rebounds. Aliyah Boston, after a 5 for 16 last game, 6 for 9, 8 boards, 4 assists, going up against Grinder, 17 points, and I love the edge that she played with today. Clark did not shoot well from three, 2 of 10, but she was 2 of 4 on her twos. She was 5 of 6 from the line, including a couple of absolutely huge threes with 20 seconds left. 15 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound short from being the first rookie in WNBA history with a triple double. And Kelsey Mitchell, 16 points in only 21 minutes. And I've said this before, she's the kind of player, and I know she started, but it feels like she came off the bench because the amount of time she was on the bench. She came off and gave what I have said is something that she can give as a bench player when you need instant offense. If she's on, she'll give you that to you. She'll give that to you. And she made 3 absolutely huge 3 pointers. in the second half, right? Katie Lou, I'm sorry, one for four. I was giving her too much credit. One for six. Again, not her day from three either, but the one she made was absolutely huge. And even only her 13 minutes, Tammy Fig Bentley did have double digits. She had 10 points. I would have liked to have seen Lexi Hull play a little more. I think we could have used her defense out there. But the big four was absolutely huge today. By the way, most months averaging 15.55 by a rookie in WNBA history. Two, Caitlin Clark's done it for two months. Rest of WNBA history combined, the rookies have done it 2 months. Oh man, Diana Taurasi. Look, I'm not going to say she had a bad game. She had some big buckets. She also had a ridiculous flop, and they gave her the call. That was kind of embarrassing. But overall, I'm just going to basically go with the positives in this one. Overall, I thought they played well. I mean, the fact that it was so bad so early and they got back into it, that says a lot about them. I think hopefully, and I know it's always easier to say this after wins, that maybe they start coming around again. I don't like the offense in a half court, and there's way too much of it. This team should run, 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 run. I like the fact that Caitlin took 14, and look, see, she took 14 shots, and she still got 12 assists and 9 rebounds, right? And by the way, when you run, guess what happens? You get more shots. So that doesn't necessarily mean the other players are neglected when it comes to shooting. Okay. And you usually get, with this type of team, you're going to get better looks. We all know way too often they get down to the end of that shot clock and they have nothing, right? You've seen it. You've seen it. And I mean, there were a couple times today where the ball got back to Caitlin, like with 4 or 5 seconds on the shot clock, and now she's dribbling around trying to get something to get a shot out of it. Nobody's moving. Nobody's setting screens for her. Nobody's setting back screens for anybody else. It's a nightmare. But huge win for the team. Huge win for the team. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there because yeah, I'll probably do if I can find some good clips to go over what they did well that allowed them to get back into it, and things they still need to work on. I'll try and do that. But let me know your thoughts on this game in the comments, and let me know if you think that we just it's a win and we get excited about it, but nothing's really changed, or if you think this might be something that starts turning their season around just because of going in and playing Diana Taurasi and playing Brittany Griner and playing a team with a winning record, a team which is something they have not been able to beat a team with a winning record this season. But I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for checking this out. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, smash that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. We're closing in on 3,500. It's crazy to think about, but I will talk to you later.